Lunchtime Agenda.
Hello and welcome to the program. I move on to a very different topic now, fighting to maintain the monarchy. It's usually a cause taken up by older Australians. The younger generations are most often leading the charge for change at the top, but blowing that generalisation out of the water is Jai Martinkovits, a 24-year-old who's just been appointed Executive Director of Australians for a Constitutional Monarchy, or ACM. He joins me now from Sydney. Jai, thanks very much for your time. Congratulations, first of all, and what are you hoping to achieve in this position?
David, good afternoon, and basically what I hope to bring to this position is to be able to ensure that ACM remains a relevant organisation, and also that the Crown, which has served us for so long, our different systems and institutions which have been with us since settlement and also since federation. I think that there's a generation of people around my age and younger who probably aren't so aware that the importance of these systems play. And I feel that it's something that's become very important to me to ensure that young people do know what these things are. Now, how do you do that, of course, is by connecting with young people through the way that they want to be engaged with. And I think that my experience in business, but also particularly in computing, will allow us to engage with young people in an online environment.
So you're talking sort of Facebook, Twitter and that sort of thing to try to engage the younger generation?
Exactly. It's the social media which is really where young people are engaging these days, as where older people who may have led the charge, as you say, on this before, may have liked to attend lunches and so on. I feel that young people particularly want to engage online. So we look, for example, at ACM's presence on Facebook, and we see that larger campaign organisations, for example, GetUp, has around 20,000 people following it online. ACM is basically sitting on around 18,000 at this stage, which shows you the size for an organisation of its kind, which is phenomenal. We also have a presence on Twitter. We are getting 11 million hits online, and the important thing to see is that it's primarily young people who are engaging in this media.
We've got to go to question time in a couple of minutes, but for you personally, I wanted to ask, where did this passion for the monarchy come from? It seems to be a bit of a rarity, as we say, for people of your generation.
Well, I don't think that we can firstly assume that it's all younger people who are leading Republican charges. I mean, whenever we see Republicans represented in the media, I think that they're quite aged themselves. So just to clarify that misconception. But in terms of why I feel this is so important, I think it's because when I went through the whole schooling system and also through tertiary education, and you know, I never was exposed to this issue. So when I came out completely oblivious to these systems that I now consider very important, I only stumbled across them by chance. And it really was the fact that ACM had you know, a very attractive secretary that I took an interest in these issues at all. After, of course, exploring the issues on both sides, I came to my own conclusions, and I guess it became a bit of a hobby horse to realise that these things, you know, are very important and that we shouldn't change them lightly, and to inform young people as to my views and why I think that they're important, and of course they'll come to their own position.
Well, Jai Martinkovits, thank you very much for your time and congratulations once again. That is unfortunately all we've got time for this edition of Lunchtime Agenda, but join us again tomorrow at the same time. Of course, David Spears will have PM Agenda this afternoon. Now we're going to take